Welcome to the Virtual Campgrounds overview of the Mist Trail in Yosemite National Park. This is a beautiful trail, but believe the guidebooks when they tell you it is a very popular one, probably the most popular hike within the park. And there are a lot of people that will be doing this trail with you, unless you are one of the fortunate that can do it in the middle of the week or off season. I did it here on May 15th, and there were a lot of people on the trail. This is a pretty long trail. Just to be clear, I did the loop, which is the Vernal Fall to Nevada Fall, and then return through the John Muir Trail. And that's 7.2 miles, 2,217 feet of elevation gain. So there are parts of it that are very vertical, but let's walk through the timeline. So I got to the trailhead way too late for a Saturday. 9:30 a.m. is when I got there. The trailhead itself, the first part of it is, there are parts of it that are pretty darn vertical. I mean, it is paved, and there is a water station and a restroom at some point. So, but be prepared for a pretty vertical start. And then at 11 o'clock, I reached Vernal Fall. And then by 11:30, I had reached the bottom of Nevada Fall. And it was at this point that I started contemplating life decisions and wondering why I was doing this hike. Thought about maybe turning around, but I saw this as a challenge hike for me, so I kept doing it. I'm just a middle-aged, out-of-shape dude, so wanted to challenge myself a little bit more. And then especially when I saw 3 women at that point carrying toddlers and backpacks doing this hike and continuing on to Nevada Fall, I couldn't stop. My pride wouldn't let me stop, so kept going. So about 12:30, I reached the top of Nevada Fall. Now that, between the bottom of Nevada Fall and the top, it is a very vertical climb. Some big steps and switchbacks, and I stopped quite often to enjoy the scenery, as they say. So it is pretty vertical, and that was a tough part for me. Once you get to the top of Nevada Fall, it's just a big slab of granite up there, some places to sit and have your lunch and chill out and enjoy the scenery. The falls are running like crazy right now with all the snow melt, so it was beautiful up there, and really enjoyed it. So I stayed up there for just a little bit, had my lunch, and then about 1:10, 1:15, I left there via the John Muir Trail. So that takes you on a loop, so that means you don't have to backtrack over the hike you just did. And the John Muir Trail is a little bit easier on the knees. It's not quite as vertical, and it gave you some different looks. As a matter of fact, soon after you left Nevada Fall, you have some beautiful chances to look back and get some great viewpoints of that, and you'll see some of those photos later. The trail down John Muir is not too long and not too steep, and I highly recommend leaving the Nevada Fall that way. And then I got back to the trailhead by 3:15 or so, and I had just a little bit further to go to get back to my Jeep, which was at the Curry Village parking lot. And one of the reasons it was at that parking lot and not at the trailhead parking lot was because I got there so late. And by the time I got there, the trailhead parking lot was packed with cars going in, circling, and leaving. And it was just nuts. And I barely found a spot to park at the Curry Village parking lot. So don't mess around. Heed my words. When I tell you to get there early, if you're going on a weekend, get there early. And then the crazy part was, because there were so many people in the park, I pulled out of my parking spot and sat. Didn't get more than 10, 15 feet away from my parking spot and sat there for 30 minutes or more, actually, because it wasn't until 4:15 that I was out of the parking lot and started rolling towards the exit. So make sure you are prepared for that if you're going on a weekend, but it was definitely worth it, and I highly recommend it. And here are some photos and videos from my hike. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'll be glad to answer them, help in any way, and hope to meet you in person one day. But until then, hope to see you in the virtual campground. Take care.